Yeah, I just want to do a quick video. Um, just discussing about somebody who I just saw recently, a near neighbor of mine, and she's of Lebanese background. I think she has, yeah, relatives there. She has quite a lot, but I haven't seen her for like over 2 years, and I just happened to have seen her yesterday, and she looks like a shell of her former self. I know that Lebanon has been going through some really unfortunate things with its neighboring country in terms of the bombings, the bombing raids, and everything like that. But someone so beautiful, so happy, and just to see her the next, like, see her, she looks so sad, like, and you can just see, you can see just how she looks like she's been through a lot, like a lot. And I just think that, what's going on globally, like, because of the way the media portrays things, like, they think war is not that close to them, like, but really, just like Lebanese people didn't think it will be, but Lebanon is really under punishment, like, they just haven't had much luck since that big explosion, like on the coast. After that, then the economy went really bad. And then people are fleeing the country. People's apartments are being blown up. But yeah, she looked so sad. She looked so sad. Um, there's like African migrants trying to get out of Lebanon, Tyre, such a historical place, where Bible scenes have taken place. Such a beautiful country with so much history, just facing so much ongoing war. But when I saw my neighbor, she looked really sad. She looks like she's been through so much, and she's young. She's not old. She looked so melancholy, and yeah, But I wonder what's going on in Lebanon right now. Let me just do like a quick share because I know they've been going through a lot, the whole bombing raids and stuff from Israel. But she just looked so sad. I'm just going to see what's going on with Lebanon. Why does she look so sad? Israel strikes on Lebanon continue as ceasefire talks gain pace. So they're still bombing the ish out of Lebanon. I thought they had a break from battering that country. Yeah. They're bombing built up areas. She has every right to look like that.
Never join a
To look
meeting without my
devastated.
AI meeting assistant to take notes. Watch this. I can ask Otter AI, what have I missed so
Because I
far?
remember when the
It will
attacks
give me
took
up to
place,
speed. I don't
and there was
More
like
than 48
biblical
hours
scenes
after
of
this attack,
people
a search
fleeing
is
the border and going up north.
continuing for those who are missing. This was one of the biggest Israeli strikes to date on central Beirut. This pile of rubble is all that remains of an 8-story building. in one of the most densely populated neighborhoods of the Lebanese capital.
Oh my God.
Maher is still in shock. He woke up to the sound of the explosions several kilometers away, only to find out that his father and grandmother were among those killed.
My father was still alive when they pulled him out of the rubble. He told the civil defense volunteers before he died to save my brother, who was in another room. Thank God my brother was saved. I don't know why the Israelis did this. They destroyed everything.
The home of Maher's parents is next to a building that, according to Israeli media, was where a high-ranking Hezbollah official was staying. But dozens of people were killed, and the area is considered far from the conflict zones. Israel's escalation is entering its third month. Every day, its bombing campaign kills more people and destroys more lives. It's already forced 1.2 million Lebanese from their homes. An end to this war can't come soon enough for a country already struggling with an economic collapse. Every few hours, this happens.
Are you kidding me?
Israeli warplanes destroy buildings in Beirut's southern suburb. This may no longer be about degrading Hezbollah's military capabilities, but punishing a population seen by Israel as supporting the group. Most of the time, people are given advance notice to evacuate, but for many, this doesn't change their reality.
I lived through 3 wars, 1982, 2006, and this one. And this is the most difficult war. They're destroying everything. It's a scorched earth policy.
Hezbollah too is negotiating under fire. It has increased its rocket and missile cross-border attacks on Israel, reaching up to Tel Aviv. It's an attempt to restore deterrence. On the ground, its fighters have been slowing down the advance of Israeli troops. The exchange of fire is escalating, while there is talk of a possible ceasefire deal. It's not the first time there's been some optimism, but at the same time, there are threats to expand attacks. Zana Khuder, Al Jazeera, Beirut.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get I don't even know what to say. I mean, when I saw her face, do you know the bit where what it reminded me of? I don't know whether she's there.
Fluently, embracing their rich heritage. We know so many parents like me who are worried about their children losing their Yoruba roots. We've worked with thousands
of
when
they were walking through the jungle and they saw like
that is fun and tailored to their children's personality and temperament. Discover how our specialized language programs make learning effective and engaging for kids. With native speaking
Yeah, I'm going to show you the bit, like, looking at her face, reminding me of this. Scared. This film scares the ish out of me. Yeah, I think there's this bit. Oh, that was when they invaded it. Now that the film script scares me out. So anyway, it was just really sad. What's this, Google? Yeah, I haven't really seen what's going on in Lebanon at the moment, but clearly there's still more attacks. Nothing's being done about it. I mean, they're just not stopping, are they? They're like continuing. It's just disgusting. Like, it's too much.
We still have a Israel dome overhead protecting the border. This is the site of somewhere they did bomb. Civilian houses, both sides of here. And it's extremely plain these are civilian houses. I've climbed I've looked through everything. There's nothing whatsoever to justify the claims of Hezbollah installations or missile bases or anything. These were civilian homes. The detritus is plain. And it's heartbreaking. 2 people died here on this spot. 12 more were seriously injured. Some may have died since. We actually haven't had an update. But when you're here and you see it, you really understand it. You really understand. And we are surrounded by other buildings which have become uninhabitable because of these blasts. So the total number of people who lost their homes here would be 10 or 12. And you're driving along in Barbie on a lovely sunny day. Everything's perfectly normal, other than the dome overhead. And then suddenly you pass these scenes of random death and destruction. It's really horrifying.
And as an Englishman, him feeling this way and showing emotion shows you how upset he is. Like, but I saw my neighbour's face, and she's a former shadow of her former self. She looked so helpless, so distraught, so upset, and it made me just. I don't know whether she was there, whether her family members were involved, but obviously she has a right to be devastated. But I've never seen her look so sad in my entire life. And I mean, I just checked up
I'm
Lebanon.
one of the so-called Bristol 7 who smashed the Elbit headquarters in Bristol on Nakba Day 2022.
Like, just the scene of devastation from a humanitarian point of view, it is so sad. And this situation needs to be looked into because they're going around bombing buildings and then the others are retaliating. And it's just really sad. And the thing is, it's sad. Like, I'm not liking this. Like, she looked devastated. Like, the sadness. She couldn't even recognize me. That's how. They really need to stop attacking.
Beirut today.
Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Oh my god! Like I know they've been doing it. I know it's not something that I want to watch. But if you had seen her face, she looked like the film from Apocalypse, basically. She looked like the people when they were walking in the jungle when they had seen horrifying death and destruction, and then the other tribe were like, "What the hell have they seen to see this?" Like that's how she looks like. And I'm just here googling like what's going on in Lebanon. I know that there was a huge 1 million exodus from the south to the north, but I didn't know that they're still like shelling the hell out of Israel. And from what I can see, like rockets are going through buildings.
Israeli strike
People are being
smashes into
bombed to
a
oblivion,
multi-story
dust.
building.
It is truly
Crowds now
barbaric,
regularly gather to watch
and
from a distance.
it is really sad. I mean, as an Arab person, as a Lebanese Arab person, Palestinian, I wouldn't feel. I feel like the world is sort of letting it happen, but like I'm not being funny, but the Lebanese are not like the. How can I say Arabs and Lebanese like they don't have the best reputation, and it's almost like she's obviously a nice Lebanon because Lebanon is such a multicultural place. You've got Christians, you've got the Muslims, but I feel like because of the reputation of of the people, people are sort of turning a blind eye. I don't know, but at the same time, the systematic attack that's happening towards them, it's quite scary. Must be quite scary as an Arab person for it to just be ignored in a national scale. And I know that the Palestinians feel the same way as well.
Israel announces where it's about to hit in advance. Most of those living in the city's southern suburbs, where support for Hezbollah is high, have already fled. But not everyone.
The fruits of our lifetime are gone. Our memories, our safety is gone. Israel decided to steal them from us, but we won't let them. We're staying.
On the ground in southern Lebanon, the Israeli army has said it's expanding its fight against
they are
Hezbollah,
coming into the country,
pushing into a second line of villages further away from the border, even as talks on a possible ceasefire have been gathering pace. US envoy Amos Hochstein met Israeli officials yesterday after having been in Beirut. A deal that would see Hezbollah pull its forces back from the border seems to be on the cards, though it's not yet been agreed. For now, there's both talking and fighting. This gallant for alleged war.
Government's position continues to be that we need to pursue a ceasefire.
Forced south with what little they can carry. A girl stops, overwhelmed.
Okay, so this is
While others tell of a rare aid
showing the extent of the displacement caused by the recent military offensive in the north. Israeli authorities have previously rejected such accusations. Harry Fawcett reports.
For 7 weeks now, Israel has been pummeling and constricting the far north of Gaza. It says in a sustained campaign against resurgent Hamas fighters. This is the consequence. People here say the aim. An estimate of up to 130,000 civilians, 80% of the population, forced south with what little they can carry. A girl stops, overwhelmed. While others tell of a rare aid delivery to their neighborhood in Beit Hanun. Hours later, it was bombed, and then the Israeli soldiers came.
While they were supposedly supporting us, they forced us out of our houses, and we couldn't carry any food, water, or anything else. It's all planned. They always force us to do this and pressure us until we move from one place to another.
so they're never getting the rest. That's their style. That's the style of ISIS as well. When they were in Syria, it would make them move and like shoot at them when they're running away. Like it's just awful.
What happened to us? You see what happened to us. The whole world sees what happened to us.
That's
Among
the
the
thing.
closest observers, the team at Forensic Architecture, which has long mapped and campaigned against Israel's military activities in the occupied Palestinian territories.
an enclosure inside an enclosure inside an enclosure.
Yeah, no, it looks like hell. It actually looks like hell.
They've been charting Gaza's increasingly gruesome topography since October last year, and are in no doubt about what's happening right now in the far north.
They are being ethnically cleansed from the area, and Israel has decided to actually crush, starve, and push them militarily out of that area into the south.
Since the Hamas attacks of October last year and the start of Israel's military campaign, evacuation orders have rippled through Gaza as the area in blue, deemed safe, has shifted. On the 6th of October, Israel's evacuation blocks in the north were enlarged, and all civilians in the far northern governorate ordered to leave. From then till now, a renewed and intensified invasion, cutting off the topmost section of the strip, using in part routes and areas once home to Israeli settlements. In 2005, as Israel prepared to pull out of and bulldoze its Gaza settlements, Channel 4 News documented a young far-right activist, Itamar Ben-Gvir, as he led a quixotic last stand against the government. Now he's in government, the National Security Minister, guest of honour in October at a rally just outside Gaza for those who want to go back in for good. Earlier this month, a senior soldier was quoted as saying he had orders to cleanse the north, but Palestinians would not
calling
return.
words like cleanse.
Comments later described by the Israeli army as out of context and not reflective of its objectives and values. The IDF didn't respond to our request for comment, but one well-connected former general says the aim is to get civilians to safety, not permanently remove them.
Look at his face. He doesn't seem convinced. White. They're white. They understand each other. That's how you invade land. Simple. And it is tragic, sad, I really feel sorry for them. Let's see what Herta Mariam says. Israel intensifies strikes on Lebanon amid ceasefire talk. Oh my God, no, those attacks are just so sad. Like in Beirut, like the most built-up city. People's mums are probably living in there. So sad. Oh my God. It's like once they started this, they can't stop. And how far will they go? Like realistically, if they're being allowed to do this, everybody's turning a blind eye. And that's the thing, when you get like power, you're not going to stop. You're going to continue. Like that's how you just become addicted to it. And there's nobody stopping it. There's nobody saying, hey, stop this right now. And if nobody's stopping them, they're just going to continue. I really feel like we are approaching end days. He better say something because he's in the Middle East. I don't think anybody who's in the Middle East should be relaxing. I'm sorry. You see these regions, so much history. Why is he in Lebanon? Fool. Is he still there? Yeah, I don't know. I really hope there's some peace. And yeah, sounds really sad. Just hopeless and peace. It's quite sad, tragic. Yeah, it's what does it say about prophecy in Lebanon? Let's have a look. Libanos. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Because they were such a great nation that was involved in business and their trees. They, mm, there's so much historical places. I think it was Benjamin that was buried there. Let's see what he has to say about that.
Welcome today to our weekly prophecy update. I'm Pastor Ken with Faith Dialogue. We provide 2 updates each week, one on Wednesday and one on Sunday, in this podcast called Prophecy Countdown. Join us on Sundays at 1 p.m. and then on Wednesdays also at 11 o'clock. Our topics during the week come from you, from the audience. You can email us at prophecycountdownpodcast@gmail.com, and we would be happy to include your question in one of our future podcasts. Now, my topic for prophecy update today is number 332, prophecy against Lebanon. Lebanon. Let me tell you, start off by telling you that 99% of what you are hearing about the present war, about war in Israel, is wrong. 99% is wrong. Israel is presently looking at war on 2 different fronts, Gaza as well as now Lebanon to the north. And nearly all of the information about the war from the talking heads on the news identifies that this war is all about land. Whose land is it? And sometimes they bring in race, the idea of white versus brown-skinned people, white Ashkenazi Jews versus the brown Palestinians. Both of these assumptions, however, are completely false. They're incorrect. What's going on right now in Israel is a religious war. It's a religious war, a holy war. It's not about land. It's not about ethnicity. It's all about Islamic radical ideology. Now, Israel doesn't want to fight a holy war, but these Islamic terrorists certainly do. These Arabs, and the vast majority of them are Islamic, have actually been fighting a holy war since the nation of Israel was established in May of 1948. The first Arab-Israeli war started the very next day, on the 15th of May. This was a devastating defeat for the Arab coalition, but what followed was the Six-Day War of 1967, which was also a defeat for the Arabs, followed by the Yom Kippur War of 1973. Now, the 1973 war was a
Proof Jesus is real.
Oh my God, it's not, isn't it?
His robe. His Bible. His sandals. His nails.
Water.
His crown of thorns. Proof Jesus is real. His robe. His Bible. His sandals. His nails.
Interesting.
Proof Jesus is real.
Welcome today to our weekly prophecy update. I'm Pastor Ken with Faith Dialogue. We provide 2 updates each week, one on Wednesday and one on Sunday in this podcast.
2 short letters that I had printed, one of them 18 years ago. In 2006, Israel was at war with Hezbollah, and they printed the following letter in the Mishpacha magazine. I have had to alter nothing. It is still totally relevant. The threats of Hezbollah remind one of the Mishnah. Quote, in the footsteps of the Mashiach, Galil Yecharev, the Galilee will be destroyed. The Mishnah in Sota 49 gives 18 signs of Mashiach. One of them is that the Galilee will be destroyed. The Zohar states, the Mashiach ben Yosef will appear in the Galilee. According to the Ma'am Loez, this means in Sfat. The Ishmaelites will stir up battles in the world, compelling the Edomites to come against them by sea, land, and near Jerusalem. Lebanon will fall by a mighty one. Halavanon ba'adir yipol, Yeshaya 10. For the violence of Lebanon will cover you, and the plunder of cattle will break them. Because of the blood of man and the violence of the land, the city and all its inhabitants. Habakkuk chapter 2. The reference to the plunder of cattle being broken could be a hint of the tremendous agricultural losses that Israel has experienced in Gaza and in the Galilee. Yeshaya 33 states, the ambassadors of peace will weep bitterly. Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. I am against you, O Sidon, and will execute judgment against you. Yechezkel 28. Rashi states in the Tosaf in Genesis 25 that when Tyre in Lebanon is destroyed, Jerusalem will be rebuilt. In one of the strangest verses in the Chumash, direct from Hashem via the evil prophet Bilam, it states, Sim miyad kitim ve'inu ashur ve'inu aver, v'gam hu adei oved. Warships will come from Kittim to attack Assyria.
Warships will come from Cyprus. Kittim is Cyprus. That's the old name of Cyprus. It's Kittim, and right now the British have navies based in Cyprus.
Iraq and Syria, and Ava, a hint possibly at Iran, and they too will be totally destroyed. These ships are also destined for total destruction. Bamidbar chapter 24. In Isaiah 17, the well-known prediction, Hinei Damasek Musa Meir, Ahaisa Mei Mapala, Damascus will cease.
Isaiah 17, I got it here, hold on. Okay. Yeah, Isaiah 5:72. So 17, yeah. So Syria and Israel are threatened. A remnant shall forsake idolatry. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Damascus in Syria. The cities of Aurora are forsaken, they shall be for flock, which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the glory of children of Israel, said the Lord of hosts. And in that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. And it shall be as when the harvestman gathered the corn and reaped the ears with his arm. And it shall be that he gathered ears in the valley of Rephaim. Ooh. Chapter 18, Isaiah says, this is a bit about Ethiopia. Woe to the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, that sends ambassadors by the sea, even in vessels of bulrushes upon the waters, saying, Go ye, swift messengers, to a nation scattered and peeled. Go ye, swift messengers, to a nation scattered and peeled, to a people terrible from their beginning. To a nation scattered and peeled, to a people terrible from their beginning, hitherto, a nation meted out and trodden down, whose land the rivers have spoiled. All ye inhabitants of the world, and dwellers on earth, see ye when he lift up an ensign on the mountains, and when he bloweth a trumpet, hear ye. For so the Lord said unto me, I will take my rest, and I will consider in my dwelling place like a clear heat upon herbs, and like a cloud of dew in the heat of harvest. For are for the harvest when the bud is perfect. In that time shall the presents be brought unto the Lord of hosts, of a people scattered and peeled, and from a people terrible from their beginning, a nation meted out and trodden underfoot, whose land the rivers have spoiled. Whose land the rivers have spoiled. To the place of the name of the Lord of hosts, the Mount Zion. Okay.
to be a city, and it will become a heap of ruins.
Oh,
And relevant to us in Sfanya chapter 2, Ki Aza Azuva Sihiye, Ashkelon Leshmoma, Ashdod B'Tzoharaim Yugarashuha, Ekron Ta'aker. Gaza will be forsaken, Ashkelon a desolation, Ashdod will be emptied out at noonday, and Ekron uprooted. In February 1991, the then recently resigned British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher lamented the historical failure of the coalition to encircle and remove the thief of Baghdad, Saddam Hussein, in Iraq. They failed to remove him. Lahabdul, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, strongly urged the encirclement of Cairo and Damascus in 1973 at the time of the Yom Kippur War, of Tyre in 1978, and of Beirut in 1982, deeming them propitious times to defang the Clippus Yishmael once and for all. And he predicted that failure to do so would ensure that the Israelis would be repeatedly compelled again and again and again to unwillingly reconquer them. According to all halachic opinions, Gaza and Lebanon are part of Eretz Yisrael, the biblical land of Israel, and once occupied by Jewish forces, they are forbidden to be voluntarily relinquished. The feared anti-Moshiach, the anti-Messiah.
interesting. Anyway, that's nice to do.
Welcome today to
live
our
stream
weekly
on this.
prophecy update. I'm Pastor Ken with Faith Dialogue. We provide updates each week, one on Wednesday.